Now I like to take this time to dive into some of the most common basic spreads that we like to cover in this course. So we cover a few really helpful spreads that kind of can tackle really any kind of question that you would have as a beginner. So a basic one card pull is a really fundamental tarot card reading method that offers simplicity and clarity. These are for simple questions, for addressing straightforward questions or seeking quick insights into specific situations. They provide a direct response, and they are not really for anything other than simple questions. And they're more for the general energy on a situation and not for anything more specific than that. They kind of serve as a snapshot on the current energies influencing the situation. And they're also best for intuitive reads. So one card pulls are particularly conducive for intuitive readings. They allow the reader to rely on their intuition, and this is because when you get more cards, you get more information, and the cards communicate with each other, they add layers to each other, and the more cards you have, the more information you get. So when you only have one card, it's interesting because most people would think that if you have one card, it would actually be easier to read because you're not being overwhelmed with all these different cards and it's, so much information. But it's way harder to read a one card spread because you're relying much more on your intuition and channeling. And that can be way more challenging than interpreting tarot cards. So as a result, they're much more difficult to read than larger spreads. So I wouldn't recommend a one card pull on an important question if you're a beginner. And I would stick to a larger spread or maybe even just a 3-card spread, which we're going to cover in the next slide. Probably a most well-loved favorite by a majority of tarot card readers is the 3-card pull, which is a popular and versatile tarot spread that offers simplicity and depth in readings, and you can use it for a majority of all questions. So it's really great because you can apply it to a wide variety of questions and inquiries, and it's very versatile, and it's a go-to choice for many tarot card readers because of this. So whether you're seeking insights into relationships or career decisions or even personal growth, this spread provides really concise and comprehensive overviews of the situation at hand. So you can interpret it like a story, which is similar to larger spreads. So that 3-card pull can kind of be interpreted sequentially, allowing the cards to unfold like chapters in a story. So each card kind of contributes to its unique symbolism and message, and it builds upon the previous card. And so it's kind of like a first this happens, then this happens, then this happens, and then that interprets it like a story, a timeline sort of thing. And then that's one way to interpret it. But there's also freedom in the assigned meaning. So one of the strengths of the 3-card spread is its flexibility in assigning meaning to each position. There's really no strict rules dictating the interpretation of each card's placement. The reader really has so much freedom in assigning whatever position they want to whatever meaning they want with a 3-card spread. There's really no rules with 3-card spreads, and there's really no rules with spreads at all in general. You can create your own spreads to suit your own needs. I mean, one of my biggest, most popular spreads that I use in my professional readings on a daily basis in every reading that I do, my Shadow General spread, I actually created that spread myself. But when it comes to creating your own 3-card spreads, some ideas that I like to give people, you can have card number 1 be your past, and then card number 2 be the present, and 3 be the future. That one's the most popular. Or you could have number 1 be you, and then 2 be your path, and then 3 be your potential. Or then 1 be you, and then 2 be your relationship, and then 3 be your partner. Or then there's 1 is a situation, 2 is action, 3 is outcome, or even 1 being your idea, 2 being your process, and 3 being the aspiration. I mean, there's so many different combinations that you could do. It's really limitless with the 3-card spread. So the Celtic Cross Tarot spread stands as one of the most popular and widely used large spreads in tarot, but it's notorious for being kind of difficult if you don't know what you're doing with it. So I noticed that most people use the Celtic Cross entirely wrong. So I'm going to tell you guys how to use it and the tips and tricks with the Celtic Cross Tarot spread. So with the Celtic Cross Tarot spread, you absolutely need to have a subject. So you can't just dive into a Celtic Cross Tarot spread and use it as a general reading. People do that all the time, and that is not how a Celtic Cross Tarot spread is meant to be read. You really need to have a specific subject. So I'm talking like career or relationship, or tell me about my spiritual connections. You need to have some kind of specific subject to really focus on with a Celtic Cross spread, because otherwise it's going to be totally impossible to interpret with the way a Celtic Cross is set up, or at least very hard, and you'll have to have a lot of experience to really know how to channel that correctly. But diving right into it, so it's renowned for its depth and versatility. The Celtic Cross is favored by tarot enthusiasts. Its layout allows for detailed exploration of your questions or situations, and it's got a lot of comprehensive insight into various aspects, and it looks into past influences, present circumstances, future potentials. It's a 10-card layout, and it provides a nuanced understanding of the complexities at play, allowing for a holistic interpretation of the reading. So it's really good for just looking into all the different aspects of the details of the situation. So if you want to know, the whole picture about something, I would use the Celtic Cross. So one of the course materials that you get sent is the Celtic Cross spread, and I've attached that to this lesson. So you should have a Celtic Cross spread attached to the bottom of this lesson for this video that you can download. And that's kind of a cheat sheet to how you lay out a Celtic Cross spread. So in summary, the Celtic Cross spread stands as a cornerstone of tarot divination. It's a powerful tool for gaining insight and guidance, and it can answer a wide range of questions and situations. Its popularity and universal appeal stem from its ability to provide comprehensive and nuanced readings that resonate with both readers and querents alike. The 5-card Decision Maker spread is a concise yet powerful tool specifically designed for moments when you find yourself caught between two choices. So, if you ever find yourself trying to make a difficult decision and you just don't know what route to take or which decision is best to make, and you're stuck in a fork in a road and you're like, you know what, I'm going to flip a coin. Don't flip a coin. Tarot is a way better choice to make with this one. So it's really good for just clarifying decision making. And the way that it approaches it is by doing kind of a pro and cons list, but tarot style. So you've got A and B on one side, and A is pros and B is cons, and then A and B on the other side. A is pro and B is cons. And then you've got the advice from Spirit in the middle. And that card in the middle should resonate with the messages being given to you on either the left or the right side. So for example, if you've got one side that says, the pros all look positive and it looks great, and the negatives, there's no negatives, and the other side is screaming negatives, so many negatives, and then there's no positives, and then the advice from Spirit is an obvious, card that points towards the one that shows tons of positives and no negatives, then that kind of all checks out and checks all the boxes to say, yes, definitely make that decision. So it's simple, but it's very effective. And that's honestly, the more simple with tarot, I think it's the more effective, I think when you simplify things with tarot, you're making it much easier to understand the spread. And the more that you take out the complexities, the better. I've seen people try to do 78 card spreads where they're doing spreads that involve the entire deck, and they end up getting so confused. I've seen people post these spreads to Facebook groups such as Tarot, which is a Facebook group where you interpret each other's spreads. It's kind of a tarot learning group. I highly recommend you join it. But I've seen people post 78 card spreads and they're like, help, I'm so confused. I'm like, I wonder why you're so confused. Maybe it's because you're trying to do a 78 card tarot spread. I would probably be confused too if I were you. Even though I have 8 years of tarot reading experience as a professional, I would be very confused by that. So that's a 5-card decision maker spread. It's extremely useful whether you're weighing two potential paths or grappling with a complex choice. This spread offers a clear and concise framework for exploring your options and moving forward with confidence.